Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's GSA briefing on crushing the competition. I'm Alan Shipes with BidSpeed, and this is our weekly GSA series with our guest speaker, Josh Ladek from GSA Focus. And today we're going to be diving into competitor analysis, crushing the competition, and Josh is going to step you through all the wonderful techniques and ways to do that. And if you have not already done so, you will want to create your access to the ongoing SBA 7J training portal. There you can see the website in the slide there. I'm actually going to push that through the chat bar, and then I'm going to turn it over to our guest speaker, Mr. Josh Ladek there. So I just sent that through the chat bar. It's real easy. Just click on that, create your access to the portal. You will have access and a copy of the slides sent to you, as well as a copy of the recording. And that's that. So Josh is a University of Alabama guy, so unfortunately I have to give him a little dig on the dogs taking them to the house this past week. But hey, Alabama, what was that? 3 out of 4. I guess Georgia's going to win 1 in every 4 games they play with Alabama there. So we like to have some fun here. So I'm going to turn it over. You guys came to get some information on GSA and competitor analysis. So Josh, take it away, my friend.
All right. Thanks, Alan. Good to meet everybody here today. Thanks for coming on. I'm about to take over my screen, and let's see. That is the one, and you should see it now. So yeah, thanks so much today. We're going to be going over crushing the competition with data. So how do you get that data? How do you research your GSA competitors so that you can take that research, make some good decisions, and overtake them? So we're going to kind of hit it at a couple approaches. But first, just a little bit about me. You know, why should you even care what I say? That's you know, hopefully I can kind of display a little bit of you know, history and build some trust here. So about 16 years ago, I founded GSA Focus, and we've been doing this all along. All we do is work with GSA contracts. That includes helping companies get their GSA contract and also helping them maintain them, keep them compliant after award. We're hitting above 500 customers nowadays. Our success rate is 98%. That means that if we set out to get you into the GSA program, you have a little bit higher than a 98% chance of success. Not always going to be easy. We are dealing with a government agency here, so they don't make it hard. The process is pretty difficult, but in the end, we're very good at delivering. Another side note there is that we do offer a guarantee. So if of those 1-point-something% that we are not able to complete the process in the end, we offer a full refund. So we don't collect any money on services that we don't deliver on. Another good little pointer here is that among our customers, our average client GSA revenue comes in at about $917,500. So I think I'll put a K right there. That's probably a little bit better. There we go. About $920,000 a year comes in through the GSA program to each of our customers. That's of course an average. So some of them it's 0, some of them it's in the millions. But always good to know an average. It's better than knowing nothing. As far as our company goes, we focus here on 3 things. It's productivity, innovation, and character. I won't go into them too much, but productivity and innovation are, of course, very, very important. You know, we try to stay productive, get stuff done as it's supposed to, and we also innovate. Is there a new approach we can take? Is there a better way to do things? That's the way we look at it. And character is a really huge thing. All hires are basically brought in because of character, and we figure the productivity and innovation will come into the culture. But good people first. That's the rule. Our mission, and I'll go into this in a minute, purpose and mission. Help small businesses compete and win federal contracts. And then our mission is kind of how we do that. We help you, small businesses, winning in the government market by getting you into the GSA schedule program, also known as many things: multiple award schedule program, GSA contract program, federal supply schedule. So it goes by many names, but that's the program we work in, and we help handle everything in the process that we possibly can to get you there. So the reason I really do care about small businesses, working with companies that like you, and 99.5% or so of our clients are small business, is really because I'm a fourth generation small business owner myself. Going back to my great grandparents, and who knows, maybe even further. So grew up around it, and that's kind of the lane that I'm really comfortable being in and who I like to work with. Company includes about nine folks now, and myself included. We're all in different areas. We have a customer success team. We have a pretty built-out operations team as well, just to make sure we can get the job done on the operations side, but also communicate and have that transparency on the customer success side. So that's about it. Talking about myself. Don't love doing that, but I feel like it's important so you kind of know who you're dealing with. Now we're going to talk about what you're here to learn. So first approach is kind of figuring out going over the question of are you competitive? That's a big one. So in the GSA world, in the federal world, and pretty much in the world altogether, if you're not competitive price-wise and solution-wise, then you're not going to win that much. So it's all about, can you be more competitive on price, and can you kind of beef up your solution so that it's better than your competitors? So on one side, your price might be too low. You're competitive, but you're not optimizing your profit. Another thing that happens quite a bit in the federal space is buyers are kind of weary of going too cheap. They see it as maybe a sign of a lesser solution. So even if your solution is built out, looks great, it hits on everything the buyer's looking for, if your price is too low, I've heard that buyers kind of get the "it's too good to be true" mentality, and they may pass you over because of that. On the other side, your price might be too high. Price is the number one variable in award decisions. Buyers care about price. The GSA and government buyers, KOs, are tasked with spending tax dollars, in a very responsible way, and going after, accepting an awarding at too high a price, that's not being a very good steward of taxpayer dollars. Some of them care about taxpayer dollars, some care about their own necks, and but it all leads to the same kind of decision making, and that ultimately means, if your price is too high and there's some comparable solutions beside you at a lower price, you're probably not going to win that one. So your solution may be the best, but agency buyers do have a budget to work with, and they also want to make sure that they're not, if they do find themselves in a situation where they have to rationalize a purchase in front of a panel or elsewhere, they have to have some pretty good reasoning for going with you if your price was higher. So I've even heard buyers say they take 3 bids, they take the one that's too low and the one they take the low, they take the high, and they throw them away, and they go with the one in the middle. Don't know how many times they do that or how prevalent that approach is. Hopefully not too much, but yeah, I've heard that's something that I've heard happens. The solution here is to research and to get feedback. So on the research side, we're going to go through the process to kind of perform a competitive research analysis of within the GSA world, and we are going to also kind of look at, well, not much to go into here, but it is definitely noteworthy that when you lose a bid, it's a learning opportunity. You can have a debrief with the KO every time. And that's golden information. Was your price too high? Was your solution lacking in some way? Did you maybe read through the RFQ a little bit too quick and make a bonehead mistake, and you didn't include one of the documents they had in there as required? All this stuff is, why are you losing? That's the question, and debriefs are the answer. So top-down approach. Let's jump right in. So there is a thing called the SSQ tool. It is put out by the GSA, and it's basically their data source, or it's kind of where they publicly release all of the GSA sales data. And it does get pretty granular, and it does get pretty helpful. So first step is just to pull the top 5 or 10 winners in your SIN categories. Next, we go to the GSA eLibrary pages and pull the catalog files for those 5 winners. And that's where you can kind of dig in and see what are they offering, what's the difference between their company and yours, why are they winning, and maybe you're not winning. And then the next place you could go is you can go right to the usaspending.gov site, and you can even pull details of the awards of those companies there and see, you know, GSA and open market, how are they doing? And you can also even see there what are the agencies. You know, there's some pretty good visualizations to view the agencies that are buying from them, and a couple other things. So in this top-down approach, we are going to kind of look through, you know, figure out who's winning, how much. So we're going to learn the revenue that your peers are bringing in from their GSA contract, and then also dig into the why of it all. And let's just jump right in. So this here is the website, and I'm going to do something that I don't like to do, but I think it's the best approach. I'm going to play with some live ammo. It's always dangerous, but let's go right to the site and run some numbers. Let's go right to that site. Oh, let's hit a button. Hit the wrong button. There we go. Let's go back down. So we're going to go to this site, and we are going to pull, let's see. Crush them with services. So here we go. What did we do? Just getting an idea of the SIN. Okay, so I think I went into the hacks SIN. So we're going to go to this website here. You can always just Google SSQ space GSA and should be the first result. It's going to look like this. This is kind of like a little widgety thing here. You just click on that. It's actually a button, and it opens up I guess you could call it a web app. I don't know how old this is. Sure looks pretty old. And we're going to go to Report Builder. We're going to kind of scroll over to the side. You can see it breaks down by year and everything. I'm going to move a little bit fast. This is going to be recorded. Also, if you have any questions, throw them in the sidebar. We will save a little bit of time after for answering questions. But yeah, so we can see here we have we can configure the time frame. We have report options, cross-contract identifiers. All of this, you only need to worry about a couple things. What I'm going to do, let's go with 2020. Let's go with 2021 actually. So October, which actually started in 2020 and ended in September of 21. There we go. So you can see it's spinning. It's going to have 2021 there. There we go. So we can see about 39.1 billion went through the GSA program. Now that's just kind of out of nowhere. We're going to pick a certain SIN. You can always configure by, further. We're going to come back up here, but let's just whittle it down to, let's undo all. It's going to take a minute. And then in this little search bar, I'm going to hit 54151 hacks. So that is the SIN that covers cybersecurity. So if you're in cybersecurity, your eyes are probably perking up right now. This is going to apply to you. If you're not in cybersecurity, then this data won't apply to you, but the process is something you're going to be able to mimic and do it and kind of see for yourself. So we have hacks selected. We can see about 272.6 million went through this category last year. I'm going to now come up to level 1, and this is going to let me limit it by any and all of these variables. And I'm going to select contractor dones. Wait in a second. Here we go. This is what happens when you're doing it live. So we can see all of these different contractors. This one, what's that? Accenture. They're a big one, 10.3. Scrolling through, see a lot of zeros. And then we see some that are, you know, in the hundreds of thousands, millions. There you go. Deloitte. So we're seeing a lot of the big players doing well here. You can click on download and hit data. Now this is a very, like I said, old website. You have to click in it and then you have to click out of it. And then what does that do? That activates this data. Don't ask me why it works that way. I had to figure that out the hard way. That data button is grayed out till it's not. Once it gets here, it's all the same information, but it's kind of lined up here. You can download all rows as a text file and it exports it as a CSV. Now, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to actually close it and minimize this. I've got that file ready right here, and let's just zoom in. I've already, I mean, I'm going to assume everybody here's pretty adept with Excel. If you're not, then you could probably figure some things out. But what I did here was I took the, actually took it so that I took all of the large companies out. We're only looking at small businesses here, and I limited it to the top three. Actually ran some searches already and put links in there. So for the GSA eLibrary page for MindPoint, we could see they brought in 11.2 million. This is their eLibrary page. Let's see, I think I might have. So there we go. So on their eLibrary page, you're going to see that there's a little icon here with a piece of paper, and you want to click on that. Some of the other information is pretty helpful. So you can see these are their set-asides, small business women-owned 8A. This is the contract number, the company and address, email, website. So you could always click through the website and see what, you know, kind of read through, maybe even download their capabilities statement. DUNS, primary NAICS code, and then this is actually the person in the GSA that helps them out. And then these are all the specifics around the GSA contract. So end dates. These are their SIN categories. So they're in the HACS SIN, and then they're also in the IT professional services SIN. So we'll just come right over here. Nothing here should probably, so some of this information might help you. You know, if they're in HACS and they're doing well, and they're also in this SIN, maybe they're doing well there. Maybe if you're in HACS, you maybe should jump over and get into that SIN as well. Maybe it's a good kind of place for you to get even more opportunities sent your way. But let's click on the catalog file. This is where you can go in and view a lot of the more granular details about their contract. So table of contents, these usually 26 data points are basically the terms and conditions of their contract. So it's kind of good to know some of these things. Do they charge freight? What's their delivery? You know, freight point. Commercial warranty, you know, are they beating out some of the, you know, the question we're trying to answer is, how is this company beating out a lot of the others and being, and you know, why are they, you know, a high award small business in the cybersecurity space? So you can dig into the 26 data points here. You can also scroll down, and catalog files will pretty much always have the list of labor categories, minimum experience, minimum education, and then the functional responsibility here. So you can read through that and kind of get a rundown of you know, what is it that, you know, about them, you know, that they're offering that may be giving them some of an advantage. Sometimes a couple words in here will pop out, and it'll kind of give you a little bit of an idea that, oh, they're going and offering this also, and we offer that, but we don't really advertise it too much. So sometimes that's what it is. We can see sometimes they're broken down in a certain way, so I'm not going to go in this too much. You can read through this and spend as much time as you want and see if there's any gold to be pulled out of it. Now this is the next thing. This is everything that was above, only this is the prices attached instead of you know, all the details. So you can see they have option year renewals, and they're on an annual schedule where it increases slightly every year. So what you could do is you could kind of compare your prices. Do you have you know, do you have an analyst 5 that, you know, you go back up here, analyst 5, you know, what is that? Let's say they have a bachelor's degree with 7 years experience. Do you have something similar that fits that role, and what are you charging compared to them? So, you know, you could do a kind of a price analysis that way. These are just some more terms. This is kind of an older thing that you don't really see much anymore, but I'll go ahead and close that down. I think we've kind of exhausted that avenue. This is just the deep dive into the details of somebody once you've established them as one of the winners, and they are bringing in 11 million through that SIN, so they are a winner. And you just kind of process that through Deloitte, Attain, Booz Allen, all of these. I guess I didn't sort out. I guess I didn't pull out the small business ones. You can identify in the SSQ their status and kind of go after. And if you want to just look into small businesses and, you know, figure that Booz Allen is they're so big, you know, maybe there's a little bit to learn from them, but you know, how do you kind of dig in? I would probably start with some of the higher level small businesses that are doing well. So that's it for that. Let's go ahead and come back over here. So GSA eLibrary.gsa.gov that's where you go to and you run a search right up in this little search bar, and that'll take you here. All right, so the USA spending, I won't go into it too much, but it's a good site. And once you get there, you can basically, it's pretty easy actually. You can see we have their DUNS number, so let's just grab MindPoint. Here's their DUNS. Come over here, and we're gonna do an advanced search, and we're gonna just, let's say we're gonna do 2021 and drop in their DUNS, which is recipient DUNS search. Oh, you have to hit submit search. There we go. So it's gathering it. You can see these are all the awards that they've had. So this is a granular detail of their awards in 2021. You can see start date. So they have some contracts that have been going all the way back as 2014. And then this is the description of it. Sometimes you can kind of see, so you can see cybersecurity, technical support services, you kind of get some idea of the contracts. If you click up into categories, you can actually see, okay, so wow, DOJ has spent 44.4 million with them last year. Next up was the Treasury. So they don't do much with Department of Defense. They do a lot with Department of Justice for cyber. So just a good thing to know. You can actually even click on that and see a rundown of, oh, invalid agency. I'm not sure what happened there, a little error. Usually you can see it'll take this detail and just show you only the awards that were within the DOJ. So I think I've taken you far enough. You can poke around here and probably learn what the valuable stuff is going to be for you. But yeah, that is a rundown on usaspending.gov. All right, so the catalog file, we kind of went through that. We're looking at hourly rates, their capabilities, and the terms and conditions, those 26 details in there. We covered that. And all of that kind of takes us through what I call the top-down approach. You know, we kind of started at the top, figuring out who are the winners, and then we drilled down into the finer details of their contracts. We kind of did I guess you could even, you know, think of it as building out a dossier on some of the winners in your field and within the GSA space. And, you know, then you can kind of start looking for common threads, things that they're doing that you're not, that, you know, that's where you get some good ideas. All right, so now we're going to look at it from the other way, which is the bottom-up approach. Now, the bottom-up approach is basically going and looking through labor categories and then working up. So you can locate the pricing, the quantity and quality of similar labor categories to those that you are offering on GSA or would like to offer. So to do this, you basically just use the calc tool. This is a tool that's run by GSA. They've got some pretty good tools. I'll give them some good credit there, some props. GSA has some good tools. I'm not sure how the other agencies do because I'm in the weeds with GSA day in and day out. But you know, they release these tools and they hold them up and they're pretty good. They're helpful. So it's pretty much, you know, what you see is what you get. You type in a labor category and you hit search. You can always kind of, you know, limit it by category. You can also insert some added keywords if you want to boil the list down and refine it better. you could set it to an exact match. So let's just stick with the cybersecurity theme. So I'm just going to grab that word and I'm going to drop it in here. So, you know, cybersecurity is not usually a labor category. A labor category is usually, you know, SME or an engineer or a, you know, programming specialist, whatever it may be, laborer. But cybersecurity is a, you know, it's just a keyword I wanted to run an analysis of. So we can see on-site cybersecurity engineer. We can see this is the granular data that's good to know. Now we can see there are a lot of records. This little chart will give you that bell curve and tell you what is the average. $129 an hour is the average going rate for any labor category with the word cybersecurity in it. Standard deviation of 1, either direction, is $91 to $166. So what's this tell us? If you have, let's just do this, cybersecurity analyst. Let's take this big long list and kind of refine it down. Let's say you have a cybersecurity analyst. Now we have 9 results, and you can see not so much of a bell curve. When you have fewer results, not much of a curve. It kind of is all over the place. So we see the average of 102. We see the standard deviation. So let's say you have a cybersecurity analyst and your going rate is at about, let's say, 120 an hour. You're on the high end. Next thing you can look at is, you know, is your person that's sitting in that role have a higher experience, higher education level than others? Does that explain it? So if you're at 120 an hour and you can kind of see, okay, well, let's go to bachelor's degree and our person in that role has 7 years. So let's just say 7 and 7 to 10. Well, let's just kind of give a little bit of flexibility. Oh, wow, we're on pretty far ends. So we see 120 something over here and 118 there. Now we're kind of seeing a clear picture. $121 average with the bachelor's degree and 7 to 10 years. Now let's just take this down to 7 to 7. Anybody have 7 to 7? None. Okay, so sometimes when you're doing this, you kind of put in a range. There we go. So we can see from 5 to 10 years, it's a 106 average. And you can kind of look down and see, okay, who's the vendor? Sandtech, Cybersecurity Research Solutions, Armavel, another one for Cybersecurity Research Solutions. Then we can see the labor categories. We can see the price, education, experience, has their contract vehicle, all that stuff. So this is just to kind of work that bottom-up approach to see, are your labor categories within a competitive range? Now, you know, take this with a little bit of a grain of salt, because when you are building out a proposal, the price, the hourly rate, that's only one variable of 2 variables. So the other variable is how many hours. So, you know, the bottom line is always going to shift around based on how many hours you anticipate needing. I guess that's the other variable. You might have a very high-priced cybersecurity analyst, but maybe that higher-priced cybersecurity analyst gets their work done in half the time, which kind of makes their price about half, which would make them about $60 an hour if they're able to work better, you know, twice as fast and accurately as somebody in this lower range. So that's just the disclaimer that I put in there. So that is the calc tool, and we are working our way right along. I've got some slides on all that, but I kind of showed you through all that. Yep. So that's it. The conclusion is here it is. So if you want to learn more, there's definitely, you know, this was a very we got in the weeds about something today. This was very focused in on competitive research. A lot of the other webinars, in fact, that we do here with SBA are kind of we approach it from learning about the program, eligibility, all that stuff. So check out other webinars. Ask questions again. I'm going to be around here for the next 15, 20 minutes, and I'm here to help. If you want to learn more, my website is a great resource, gsafocus.com. On that page, you'll see a big orange button that says download the free resources now. A lot of information that I wasn't able to cover today will be on there. Feel free to email me if you want to inquire about the process, my business, anything at all. Shoot me an email. I'm here to help. So yeah, the free resource pack. Here's my phone number as well. So let's see. Let's move on to answering some questions. So any takers? Anybody have some questions on everything? I'll leave this screen up for a minute. GSA with my website, GSA Focus, my email, all that stuff. And yeah, Alan, jump on back in and let's see if we can get some questions answered.
Yeah, just a few questions have come through. Yes, we did record this. You will get a copy of the slides emailed to you as well. So a few questions. A complaint on us kind of talking about the SBA 7J program and everything up front. So we deal with thousands of companies that participate in this program. So we try to give everybody up front, a rundown of kind of what, where they're at, why are they at this briefing and this portal and stuff. So I just wanted to clarify there and turn a complaint into, something for everybody there. We're trying to disperse information, grow the knowledge base for you, as well as be there to answer any questions as you have going forward too. Through the training portal, you can contact us anytime there, and we can get your questions answered even after this briefing. So there have been no specific questions come through, Josh, on the content here. Great tools in going through all of that information there. So thanks for doing that. Thanks for coming on. Any final thoughts?
No. Other than just appreciate everybody staying on. We had a good showing today, and hope everybody's ready to hit 22, hit the ground running. I'm here to help. So emails are free. You have a question. If I can point you towards anything, let me know. This is recorded. Alan's going to send out the recording and everything. All these links, you'll find them in the recording and everything like that. Yeah. So shoot me an email. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. Alan, appreciate
Great.
you.
Well, thanks for coming on, Josh. We do the GSA details every week at noon Central. So look for the invitations next week, and we try to hit different topics from everything from getting, what do you need to do to get on your schedule to you're on a schedule. What do you need to do then, right? So we try to just, again, bring the knowledge base up, provide as much information as we possibly can to the group, so that you have it in your back pocket, and you've got us as a team to help you moving forward there. So thanks a lot, everybody, for coming out. Appreciate your time this afternoon. So don't forget to get in there and create your SBA 7J portal access. Again, that's complimentary to get in, review the trainings, have all the slides. So this way you never have to store all that stuff yourself. We store it for you, and you've got the videos and all that good stuff, and then you can utilize different feature sets in the system to help you in doing business with the federal government. So have a great afternoon. Coming up at the top of the hour, we have our federal opportunities report there. So that's a very popular one. So if you've got some time to jump on, jump off, or jump off this, jump on that one, we go through all the sources sought for NAICS codes, and then we take one-off NAICS code requests, sources sought, and review what's out there in the last week for you to respond and see if we can get some of those set aside for 8A, for Hub Zone, for economically disadvantaged women-owned small business. So that'll be at the top of the hour. You can join it actually directly from your dashboard. So thanks a lot, folks. Have a great afternoon and a great rest of your week.